Hello and welcome back to the Carweekpodcast, episode 3. Got a lot to talk about today, and we're going to start with motorsport.
Yep. Even though F1 has gone on to the summer break after the Hungarian GP, there has been quite big news. Quite big news going on at Red Bull. As we all know, Pierre Gasly has been underperforming.
Slacking.
He's been slacking quite a bit. Max Verstappen's been winning races, getting consistent podiums, top 5 finishes. Gasly's at best 6th, and when the Ferraris aren't involved, he gets maybe a 4th. Doesn't even challenge the Mercedes, doesn't follow Max around. So what Red Bull have done, they've gone back on their word, I must say. They said they would keep him until the end of 2019. They've now dropped him and promoted Alexander Albon to his seat and dropped him back to Toro Rosso with Danny Kvyat. Thoughts, anyone?
I'm not going to lie, I didn't think they would do it mid-season. I thought they'd at least give him the whole, that much of a chance, but I guess seeing it from a business perspective.
But also the one thing that to me is sort of a bit like, are they, because obviously Albon has been doing well in the Toro Rosso, but it's more the fact that they've put Pierre in the Red Bull after 1 year. I have a feeling that if the pressure gets too much, Albon's probably going to do the same within only half a year.
Thing is, I feel sorry for Albon at the moment. Yeah, he's been promoted to Red Bull and it's great, but he's now got the pressure of Red Bull, who said they would keep Pierre Gasly. So they've gone back on their word, so he knows he cannot trust anything Red Bull say to him. If he's like, oh yeah, you're underperforming a bit, but don't worry, we'll give you till the end of the season.
Yeah,
who knows, they might swap him with Kvyat. I don't see him doing it, any more changes this year, but who knows if he goes drastically downhill. And then he's got all the pressure to be like, right, I've only been in half a season. I've got to now perform, prove that I am worth this seat, and go for it. But I reckon he'll do it. He was doing really well.
He's done all his practice and all his experience with Toro Rosso, so to then have to switch mid-season, I mean, luckily it's still Red Bull, so it's close, but still, he's kind of jumping in at the deep end.
Oh yeah. Thing is though, Gasly was saying when he got promoted, the car just felt totally different to what he was used to at Toro Rosso. Mm-hmm. So he was used to being able to, with the Toro Rosso car, being able to do what he normally does. And then when he got in the Red Bull car, he said he felt lighter in it. It felt less responsive, or he couldn't respond to it as well as he did with the Toro Rosso car. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if, because Albon's only got, let's say, half a season's experience in F1, I don't know if he's going to be able to cope with that straight away.
Yeah, with that switch.
Really, he needed a season in Toro Rosso to find his feet in F1. I mean, the guy only had his first wet race in an F1 car at Germany. He's still learning. He needs the time, but...
And I doubt, I presume he did have a bit of a choice, but when you get presented with that opportunity, he's got to take it.
You can't say no at that point. You take any decision, because F1 is so cutthroat. He says, no, all right, we'll give it to Kvyat. And if Kvyat performs... How long till he gets another chance? Because they're not going to kick Max out unless something drastic happens, which you don't see it happening. And if they did promote, if he said no and they did promote Kvyat, and Kvyat starts performing, he's screwed. He's basically done himself out of a seat. So he was in a position where he had to say yes, even though he probably was going to say yes.
Which I think puts a lot of pressure on his shoulders to perform. And, I mean, realistically, just looking at it on paper, maybe he won't perform. Well, I mean, he's going to, do all right, but like you said, it's his first season and he's been chucked in this halfway. So on paper, you wouldn't have thought he's going to do something crazy, would you? But he's got the pressure, and especially with Max as a teammate, that they're going to want him to be doing bits.
Oh yeah, they want to beat Ferrari. That's their main goal now, because I think they're 44 points off Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. That's why I think they swapped him, because they saw how well Albon was doing in the Toro Rosso. They're like, right, our best chance to catch Ferrari now, kick Gasly out, put Albon in, Max can keep performing. We'll help Albon out as much as possible, and then we can try and catch Ferrari, which I think has been a bit greedy by him. I mean, Gasly, yeah, he had half a season, he was underperforming, but they did say to him, "We'll give you until the end of the season." And then Albon, he hasn't really had that much time in a Formula One car, so. I don't know.
Good luck to him, though. I wish him the best.
Oh yeah, I
really hope he does.
Oh, he's a lot. When you see him on the interviews, and everything, he's so happy.
Yeah,
he's just one of them people who's happy to be there. He's literally realising his kid's dreams.
Yeah,
I want to be in an F1 car, and he's like, I'm here now. I can't believe it. He's just all smiles.
Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy.
Because the way I got first glimpse of this happening was on Instagram. I followed George Russell.
Yeah.
And he put it up on there. I was like, what's going on here then? It only then popped up to me that Red Bull had moved them, and then I'm just reading through the comments of it, and I was just like, yeah, we just now need George to be put into Mercedes. Like, don't push it too far,
Yeah,
mate.
stretch
I
it
mean, they're
there.
going to get put Ocon, really, because we're still waiting on the Mercedes decision, because
Yeah.
they said the same as Red Bull.
Yeah.
Summer break, we're going to really look at our options. So, and after Valtteri Bottas's past 2 performances, yeah, he's had a decent start, but
But they're going to remember those last
he's gone
ones,
rubbish
aren't they?
to the end of the first half of the season. So,
Yeah,
I really don't see them keeping Bottas. They might put Ocon in,
be
but then
nice to see.
I don't know if they'll follow Red Bull and think, hang on, we can put George Russell up in here, and then we'll have loads of young people at the front. You have Leclerc, you have Albon and Max, you have George Russell, and then you have Lando Norris, big boy Lando, and Carlos Sainz. He's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when they put him in the team for McLaren, there's we've got 2 young drivers.
That's the last thing I have to mention. Like when we talk about that, if Albon was to turn down the Red Bull seat, is that he could have done what Sainz did, where Sainz was on the Red Bull Junior program, drove in Toro Rosso, but he realised, what's the point in going to Red Bull? Really, I can sort of do what I want.
Yeah, and then he got loaned out to Renault,
Yeah,
done a season with Renault, and then got
then
a
he was-
full-time spot over at McLaren.
yeah, it was just like, all right.
Which has been the best thing for him at this point. I mean,
Mm.
2 P5s in a row.
Considering he's right on the back of Gasly as well in the points.
Some could say he's a smooth operator.
I was about to say that.
McLaren has just turned into the meme team.
Oh,
and it's
mate, it's
brilliant.
the best thing ever they could have done. Zach Brown, genius, mate. Even if he's not the one pulling all the decisions, he's definitely getting all the
It's just brilliant.
glory for it. Just, oh, yeah, great team decisions. Well done, mate. But, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the motorsport side of everything.
Yeah.
So, car news. I'll start off with this one again. We've gone from talking about McLaren racing team. Let's talk about the McLaren road side of things. They're going great in Formula One. Not so good with the Senna at the moment. Well, I'll say that. Out of 500 cars they've made, only 2 have had this specific issue. If you're watching on the video, we'll pull the picture up of now, you can see a McLaren Senna with the rear end on fire.
The thing is, even if only 2 have set on fire, they've set on fire for a reason.
Oh,
So
there's
does
definitely a
that
reason.
mean the other 500 are surely at risk?
Do you know the best thing at the moment? After the 2 incidents, McLaren will come out saying, "Yeah, basically, we don't know what's happened. They caught on
Which is
fire, and
very
we can't."
reassuring.
Yeah, especially when you got a McLaren Senna, which is about I think it was 1 million or so. I can't really remember.
Yeah,
now.
I think a bit more, but
Yeah, and
around that.
sat in your garage, and you think, "I'm not going to drive that now. That's now a show car."
also, I mean, this is just an assumption. The people who own the Sennas probably have a couple other cars in the garage of similar worth.
Yeah.
So to have a unexploded bomb in your garage,
Basically, a ticking time
Yeah.
bomb sat right next to you.
Bit worrying.
You're screwed. But obviously, the first Senna that caught on fire was YouTuber Salamodrins. He was driving down. He only had 400 miles on the clock, which is even more worrying. So it's not like he'd done thousands of miles. And he just noticed flames coming out the exhaust, which is where this has all been happening on the rear of the car. And pulled over, and then his car's just on fire. Done. Donezo. So
because he
Yeah.
got rid of a lot of his cars, didn't he, after the Senna? Because I mean, it's quite a harrowing experience to just be driving a car that you spent money on, that you know
you expect to be okay
all
for
the
the money you
research and
spent on it.
development, and next thing you know, your life is at risk. You're trapped in an inferno.
You're basically trapped in a time bomb, like we said before.
Yeah.
And then the second one that caught on fire was at the Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. It was, what's his name?
Jer Collector.
Jer Collector's Senna. He lent it out to Formula One, who got Gerhard Berger to drive it around the track. They weren't ragging it around or anything.
No, just a
They
little
were just-
parade lap.
It was just a parade lap for McLaren and everything. And then just caught on fire, same place,
Next
same
thing you know,
thing.
fire.
But luckily, because of the crew they had on site at the Grand Prix,
Oh,
they
from
managed,
Formula One.
yeah, they managed to put it out so quickly that it didn't destroy the cars like Salamodrin's one.
Yeah.
So they managed to save that one as much as possible.
If I was McLaren, if they managed to save the car, I would be like,
Give it to
give
us
us the
now.
car, let's get to the root of this problem, and then fix all the customers, keep the reputation, and make sure that everything's alright.
So far, it's looking like it's more of an exhaust issue. I don't know whether there's the heat shield around the exhaust or something around the exhaust is getting too hot and then just fire.
Surely they can identify and find that.
I'd imagine so, especially with that one. If you want to go back a slide, and audio video listeners will show you. If you want to go back, you can see the picture here.
Yeah.
Of, not that one. The of the car after it's been collected. That one. It still looks in decent shape. Yeah, it's been taken out by a fire extinguisher and everything's been
There's
washed
a bit
out.
of peeling with the car.
But the car is still intact, so they can look at that car, look at the cause, and look where the fire has been. And then they can try and identify what has gone on wrong there. But, yeah, McLaren not doing too well
Just
at the moment.
Get yourself together, find the problem.
I mean, especially for a Senna. They're beautiful cars.
They are.
I do love a Senna. Right, and then Jared?
Yeah, so these were not many pictures for us. You're just going to have a logo with it. And it's to do with Volvo are recalling over 70,000 cars in the UK alone because they have the potential fault of setting on fire.
Oh, another time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And and this affects worldwide nearly 500,000 or so diesel cars that they've sold.
Jesus.
But like Volvo have been using a lot of terms like rare case and very rare case to try and numb it down a little bit.
How rare is it when you actually have to do a recall on all your cars?
And,
If it's rare or not, if it happens, it happens. That rare time could be yours when you got your family in the car.
But a rare time to have to recall, what was it, you said 70,000?
70,000 in the UK.
I mean, for McLaren not to recall 500 Sennas, I think it's more
And they
than...
literally burst into flames.
I think it's more than a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Just Volvo's
So,
PR team. Let's dumb it down a little bit.
Mind you, they have to be safe, don't they?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they've said that in very rare cases, but a plastic part of the engine is prone to melt and deform, and that in an extreme case, it can cause a fire.
Let me put plastic, something that can melt and catch fire, next to engine, which will get very hot.
Yeah, something
That looks
Hope
good.
for the best.
I mean, they kind of done that themselves. That was not a good
they're
choice.
trying. They've basically said that they're trying that they want to say that it is a exhaust manifold issue of it setting on fire.
They want to say.
But they haven't released any numbers on how many fires or injuries have been caused.
I bet
which
they
is
haven't.
I bet that's tons
suspicious. But yeah, pretty much whoever's driving a 4-litre diesel from Volvo that was made between 2014 or this year. Good luck, you're driving a bomb.
Go
Just
get
see
it
loads of
checked out.
Volvos on the side of the road just burnt out. And you're like, oh yeah, they didn't get back
But
that time.
let's say Volvo aren't, let's say given the owners of the cars between those years any hope,
Yeah.
because they've said owners because it's been put as owners are being told that it is still safe to use their cars as long as you don't show any signs of problems with an engine warning light coming on, lack of power, or an unusual smell.
Or an unusual sight of flames out of your bonnet.
So if your car sets on fire, you know that your car is one of the ones that sets on fire.
Yes, pretty
Yeah,
much.
there's no other way to tell. It's just when it's on fire, yeah, you got
Wait
you was
until you're
unlucky there.
melting in your Volvo.
But like the
or
thing that
dying melting in a Volvo.
I mean, I'd rather die melting in a Senna.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But like this bit was sort of like that's gonna give people even more hope. Is Volvo going out saying they're not clear on how long it will take to find a fix for the problem affected cars.
Soon, hopefully.
Oh, so that's two companies with two cars that are setting on fire and no cause for it whatsoever and no way to sort it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's
Reassuring.
Yeah.
Is this not the Greenpeace people trying to get back at all us car owners? Right, you like your car so much, how'd you like to die in it? Right, I think that does it for car news. Now
Yeah.
we'll move on to some
Fiery car
new
news.
cars. Jack,
Jump in.
what have you found this time?
Straight back to McLaren. Hopefully one that won't.
Couldn't
set
tell
on
we got
fire.
sponsored by McLaren this time, could ya?
Oh, send us a GT, please. So this is the new McLaren GT. I think it looks nice.
Jeez.
And it's GT car. They say this car invites you to cross continents in a refined, spacious surroundings.
Ooh.
It's a GT focused car, but with all the McLaren,
McLaren
McLaren-ness.
excitingness.
Yeah.
I mean,
So built-in flamethrower.
let's hope this one doesn't catch fire.
I would happily cross continents in it. I don't know about you
I
guys.
mean,
It looks
That looks
amazing.
beautiful. The interior doesn't look too bad from what we can see. I mean, the seats look nice.
I have come with interior.
You have come with
pictures.
interior pictures. Oh,
I have.
oh.
So for the audio listeners, it's just like a normal McLaren interior, but way more refined, way more just comfy, and it's got I can't remember. I think it's like a 180-degree windscreen, like or field of view, because it has a long windscreen which goes further up into the roof.
Does it?
So that gives it the spacious feel as well.
I just like how sharp everything looks. Like the way the speakers are they come out to that point, and everything just looks
Yeah, it's all sleek
just
and
sleek and nice.
so it's
So
4-litre twin turbocharged V8,
Yep, that's about right.
which is very nice.
Very McLaren.
0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, which is fine for a Grand Tourer, and 0 to 124 in 9 seconds. Top speed of 203. You know, when you're cruising down the
When you're
autobahn.
cruising cross country in your GT Tourer, I mean,
But there's lots of options available, and
that does. I do like how most cars are now going to the electronic dashes with the electronic like radios and everything. It just looks so nice. I got in my mate's new Mercedes A-Class. Yeah, it looked on the exterior, but the inside, all the dash was one panel, like one display panel.
yeah.
That like most of the radio was included in it as well. It looks so nice.
Yeah, that's
and
what
like this what was it? Sorry, what was it called?
Oh, the McLaren GT.
Just the GT. This
Yeah.
GT, the same with the electronic dash and then the electronic like radios entertainment system. It just looks nice. It's one thing I really do like on all these new cars.
Because it's like it's very similar with because I've sat with my granddad just got a new BMW diesel.
I thought you were going to say McLaren.
Oh, he just bought a new Senna.
If he did, I would be amazed. But yeah, like I sat with them. It's the same with like with the dash. It's just one sort of just long, non-reflective, just
Screen.
digital screen.
And it just makes it look so much
It
better.
You just sort of like on the steering wheel, just slide through different things you want to look at.
Slide
It's just brilliant.
It's just great. I do love it.
And it has cup holders.
Finally,
For a
I mean,
Grand
when you're
Tourer.
touring around, you at least want a cup holder for your coffee.
yeah.
But are you really going to want to spill it on that cream white interior?
That's when you get a black interior.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would
Lights the
not
coffee.
be driving around with that.
Okay, next, I don't think you guys are going to be a fan of this. I'm not either.
What
So
is
this
it?
is the Land Rover Defender 2020. So we all know they ended the production of them, and they're reintroducing a facelift. And there's no cars like pictures that have been revealed without the hidden little paint job they do. But you can see the shape, and it's just not a Defender.
What is that?
The interior is really just.
It just looks like a Range Rover
It is,
Sport,
it looks
isn't
like
it?
a Range Rover.
I just, oh mate,
So
they've done us dirty with that.
starting around 40 grand, and there's going to be 6 engines available.
6. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
2 petrol, 3 diesel, and a plug-in hybrid. Because
Oh,
you
they
know,
had to
all
ruin
the
it with
farmers when they're stuck in the field just need that plug-in hybrid.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be no farmers buying this Defender at the end of the day. It looks like it was designed by one of the Beckhams. Look at it. Does it not look like the Evoque at the end of the day?
So for the video
Mm.
listeners, you'll see. For the audio listeners, I put together a little, next to each other comparison of the new Defender versus the old one.
Why
and-
didn't they just remake the old Defender? Just be like, oh yeah, we're starting production again because everyone likes them.
Everyone knew the Defender because it's blocky, it's bold, it's
It's a utility vehicle. It's made to go on farms and war zones. I mean,
But-
look at it.
now it's just a little,
Yeah, just get
pansy
off. Just get
Range
off of it
Rover.
now. I don't want to see it
Yeah,
anymore. I've had
I
enough.
was nearly sick.
So next, we have the Jaguar I-Pace. And the reason I put this in is because I was shocked. Loads of the car reviewing magazines and journalists, they all rated this really highly overall as a car. But
Right. Okay.
that's the opinions from Connor, and I think look past the fact that it's an electric SUV, but I mean,
It's not
It's
really an
between-
SUV though.
I don't know what it is. I'm
The
not
exterior,
gonna
I
lie.
will say something.
I
The
don't know what
exterior
it's to
looks semi-okay.
Semi-decent,
I mean, you can't say it looks good.
I don't know
but-
what the bonnet scoop's about. It's bloody massive.
I mean,
Or would it need one?
I don't know.
Why does it look like they've just chopped the roof off like one of the F-types or something, just stuck it on a massive body?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Well, we need to build an SUV. Just take the roof off the F-type and we'll just get some other body. It'll be alright. Just put it on there.
But yeah, it's 65 to 75k. This is one thing I don't get about the new electric cars. It's all good implementing them, but when they're at such a high price and the infrastructure isn't available yet, I can't see them taking off.
No one's
going to
buy them for 60k when you can just go out and buy a second-hand Volkswagen for like $3,000.
Yeah, because no, in the proportions, this is a family car. Would you say a small family car?
Yeah.
And
this is all
what
your soccer
small
mums.
family has 65 to 75k to spend on their new car?
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be some,
Very, very rare.
but the majority.
You were talking about the majority 1% rich people.
Yeah, everyone else is gonna get a Ford
Every normal
Mondeo
person
or
is not
something.
going to buy one of them at the end
No.
of the day. At best, they might buy a Range Rover, but not that.
0 to
Sorry.
60 in 4.5 seconds. I thought I'd chuck that in there, but it's electric.
It's
car.
electric car. It's going to have that initial torque to start with.
And
Isn't
a
it?
range of 292 miles, which, I mean, is probably
Still
the same.
not
Is
as
that
good
good for
as
electric cars? I don't pay attention to them.
The way I think about it is, I'm pretty sure if that was a petrol car, it's not a performance, it's just a general economic family car, that could do 300 on a tank, surely.
Definitely.
Yeah,
'Cause
like you
you'll
could
have a big
put-
tank for an SUV.
Yeah, and what? It will cost like 40 quid to fill up. So you can fill up your car for 40 quid and do 300 miles, or you can do 300 miles and then wait hours for your car to charge.
No, you're right.
And
Yeah,
spend
because-
65 to
'cause when
75k
you-
on it.
I'm just not sold on electric cars in this day and age at the moment.
Because when you look at that, I personally I would expect, like, if you want to keep going with like down like the economic route, there's quite a few like very efficient like 4-cylinder engines that could be put into
Ford.
Yeah. What is that the cutout for where you put the port in on that wing?
that. Yes.
Why put it in such an inconvenient location?
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't put a fuel filler cap there, would you?
No, but the thing is, most of the like charging points for these electric cars, they plug in the front because you drive into a spot front ways. Why put it on the side? Like, makes no sense to me.
So you can scratch up your 65k Jaguar.
If you're
With the
spending
little hose.
65k on an electric Jaguar, you're doing something wrong. Sorry, I would not have one.
But I reckon, how long do you reckon it'll be till electric cars are like properly mainstream?
50,
2030.
60 years.
Oh, no,
50, 60 years?
I reckon
No,
about
I think it's
2030.
closer than that.
No, people are really adamant on just keeping the cars they've got.
I understand
Nobody
that, but
likes change.
No, but I reckon.
the infrastructure is not there now. I think it will be like 10 years because technology is moving fast.
I reckon 2030 is going to be the time when people are going to be driving affordable electric cars, and they'll have decent range on them, and you have more filling stations for the electric car, and hopefully they might find faster ways to charge them up. But
Because it's ridiculous. Because like car parking spaces, if they have like, I'm just thinking of the cinema near us. It's a massive car parking space, but there's only like probably like what 5 electric car park spaces.
don't they put them electric car parking spaces at the front to try and entice you
Yeah.
to buy them so you can park nearer the front?
But what I'm getting is, if you want the majority of the population to have an electric car, that means that every one of those spaces needs a charger.
Yeah, but at
there
the
needs to be
moment
more chargers than not chargers.
they're not going to
but-
do that at the moment because they know not that many people
No,
have got an
not at
electric
all.
car. The thing is, if they're going to keep doing it like that, no one's going to buy an electric car because you can't fill them up. They're not going to put the places in to fill them up because no one's got an electric car. One side's got to give at the moment, and yeah.
But I agree with you. I think the majority of the population, especially in the UK, would much rather keep the petrol car. And I think, to be honest, a lot of people can't afford to get a brand spanking new electric car.
Yeah.
And
How
it's
many
just
people do you-
inconvenient.
Because when
Who
you,
has 60k lying around to buy
a
a Jaguar?
family car. Yeah.
No, it's not
it's
happening.
because like
And they don't last as long, and it's just.
It's because like
the
if you look,
batteries wear
if you
out and
pretty
whatever.
much in like the UK, like if you just sort of walk around, most of the time you're looking at cars from like 2003 to about 2010 at best,
Yep.
because they're just cheaper to buy and run.
Cheaper to buy and run.
Just
make
'cause of
them
the
last,
mileage and-
yeah.
How old they are. No one's going to buy one of them, especially when you think young families now, who people they're probably going to target, who are going to
Are probably
who are
struggling
the
to buy
future.
their own house.
They're the
at
future,
minute.
yeah, the future population. They're going to struggle to buy a house first, so no way they're going to spend 60k on a car when they can't afford a house. So I just don't see it happening.
No.
Mm.
No.
It's definitely not there
Electric cars, no, not
yet.
yet.
Not at the minute.
Definitely not at the moment.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
let's move on to our favourite time.
Car debate, and I am happy to go first.
What
with
have
this
you
one.
got first for
So,
us, Jack?
Let's start off with what the standings are. I am doing the Porsche Boxster 718 GTS.
Are you going to go first? Go on.
You can.
I'm doing the Audi TTS.
And I'm doing the BMW Z4 M40i.
Right, like I say, Jack, you want to kick us off?
So, I'm going to talk to you about the Porsche, the best car out of the 3. So, this is a 2.5 litre turbocharged flat 4 rear wheel drive sports car. And it's a 6-speed manual if you want it. Or you can have a 7-speed PDK automatic, which is renowned for being effortless shifting. 360 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. And 3.9 seconds in Sport Plus mode. And the top speed is claimed to be 180 miles an hour. But I'm sorry, it looks amazing. I think it looks amazing.
Most Porsches look amazing, but the only thing I will say is most Porsches look the same.
They do, but this one is just... I think this is like obviously an entry-level Porsche for people who have the money.
How much did you say it was?
It's a lot of money.
Go on, repeat it one more time for me. Just repeat it for me.
I don't have a price, but...
Too expensive,
if I was to guess...
An entry-level Porsche is too expensive.
Well, for a Porsche, it's not a GT3 RS, is it?
No, I'll give you that.
But no, it's a Grand Tour like the rest of them. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got a screen display with, I presume, all your Apple Music and all that.
All your normal stuff for a car nowadays.
It's a Porsche. It looks nice. It performs. What more do you want?
Yeah.
A BMW, Jared? Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yeah.
Please enlighten me.
So so the new Z4, because this actually has got a price tag on it of 49,090. It's quite an obscure number.
That's very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Has a 3-litre inline turbo, which is the same as in the new Supra.
But do we all like the new Supra?
Oh, let's not.
No.
That's not. This podcast will go on for 2 hours if we talked about the new Supra.
That's not.
We need
for
a
now.
podcast dedicated.
New and old Supra?
Has 335 horsepower. Does limited to 155 mile an hour. I'm guessing.
Oh, BMW, come on, lads.
It's all German cars. They
0 to
won't go above
60
it.
in 3.9 seconds. Only has an 8-speed automatic, but there were plans to have a 6-speed manual, but there wasn't enough demand for them to produce them.
BMW drivers.
BMW drivers can't use indicators. They don't need an 8-speed, okay?
Then
Just limit
just
them
sort of
down.
stuff that comes with it, as you sort of expect with BMWs, they have LED headlights because
Are we going to talk about the same interior it's got in every other BMW?
pretty much. As an
Yep.
electronically
exactly the same.
as an electronically operated soft top roof, which looks a bit.
I was going to say that.
It does look quite
soft
horrible.
top looks.
Any soft top looks
Ugh.
ugly. I'm sorry, just convertible is not the way to go.
Yeah, that's horrible. Heated seats, pretty much, as you get. 10-speaker stereo system, customizable ambient lighting, just in case you want it.
Ambient lighting.
Want to
oh
get
my God.
saucy.
Maybe just get the mood in a BMW.
Whilst you're talking about stats.
Is it orange? Is it orange ambient lighting just for the orange you save on the indicators because you don't use them?
It's where you need the ambient
I'm
lights
sorry,
for
if
when
you're
you're talking
driving-
specifics.
If you're driving that, you have no one to be in your car to do the ambient lighting for, let's be honest.
Apart from a male relation.
They'll just jump in the
Your male
Porsche.
business co-worker.
And yeah,
No,
just some other stuff. It's like you have optional extras that include adaptive dampers, better brakes, and electronically controlled locking diff, which is all run by the infotainment system when you activate over into Comfort, Sport, or Sport Plus. And it's like when I talked about the M4, it probably has the app to connect to it just in case you
To
turn up
get
to
your
the pub
stats.
and go, and go, look at how much G.
This
I've
is what
pulled."
I drive. Do you like it?
They're like, you have to like it. It's a BMW.
I drive a BMW. Did I tell you I drove a BMW?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. Here's my stats for my BMW.
So yeah, that's pretty much that. For
One thing
the Z4.
I want to know about the BMW that I found out in my research is that it sounds insane.
Does it?
It sounds amazing.
Well, let's move on to
It
the
does.
car that's going to win.
Shame
obviously.
it doesn't look amazing.
The Audi TTS. Can we have a quick picture of that? Because I have to admit, Audi TTS in red. For video listeners, we'll bring the picture up now with the black wheels. Come on.
I will agree, it is nice looking.
Better looking than the Porsche easily.
No, let's not say
What?
that.
Come on.
It looks nice, but it's not better than the Porsche.
It looks different than any other Audi. The Porsche looks the same as other Porsches, apart from the front.
Wait, you're telling me that looks different than any other Audi?
No, I got too
I was
ambitious.
gonna
I
say,
got
how
too
can-
ambitious when I said it. I immediately regretted
How
it.
can you say that to me with a straight face?
Like I say, I immediately regretted it, okay? But no, the Porsche, same as other Porsches. Audi
Okay,
just-
don't bash the mine. Go for yours.
I will bash yours as much as I
We'll
want.
do that at the end.
You already
'cause
said I'm not winning this.
I'm ready to
I am
fight
going
back.
to win this, okay? Right, let's start off. 288 brake horsepower. Like Jared, German car, limited to 155 miles
Sorry,
per
did
hour
you
top
say
speed.
288 brake horsepower?
Yeah. What's yours?
360.
Jesus Christ! Didn't realise that bit.
Carry on.
280 pounds-feet of torque from a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine.
Admittedly, that's quite a good power from an engine.
A 4-cylinder, yeah. And look at that rear as well.
Hey,
Come on.
that's an ABT. That you can't have that.
Yes, I can. Why do you think I put it in there? Just sneak the picture in.
But it does look nice.
It's alright. It has got a 7-speed S-tronic dual clutch transmission with Quattro all-wheel drive.
Very, very nice.
Not typical Audi Quattro, you know.
Yep.
You know you're going to get good quality
Yeah, I
out
was
of
going
it.
to say it's not a problem because that's what you want.
Yeah. Then you've got a 0 to 60 speed of 4.4 seconds. So I think it's the
That's-
slowest 0 to 60 out of the three.
Only just though.
Yeah, no, these ones are a lot.
Yeah, I was going to
closer
say they're
together.
quite
It's got
close.
a
to these
smaller
ones.
engine though, doesn't it?
Price of it, bit steep. For a brand new one, when I looked on the Audi website, because I went in and built my own one with all the, with everything on it.
Really got into this.
Yes, I did. And
Yeah.
Guess how much with like, everything on it.
You said steep, so I'm going to go like 40, top 40s,
You're close.
52,
Go mid 40s.
mid
44,600 with everything on it.
See,
And
that's,
these are just some of the
that's
bells
pretty
and
good
whistles
price.
you
that
can
is
get.
pretty good price considering the Z4's 49,000.
I did just look up the price of the Porsche.
How much?
63 grand.
Jesus Christ. And these are just some of the toys you can get on it. Parking sensors front and back. You can get full leather interior if you want it. LED headlights, cruise control, Bluetooth, rear camera, heated seats. And then all your normal Apple CarPlay, all that rubbish. So yeah, you get quite a bit with it.
Mm.
And by the look of it, I do put it above the Porsche.
I'll give you it. It does look nice. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think it looks good.
I'm not bashing the Porsche too much because I do like the way the Porsche looks. It just it looks streamlined. It looks nice, but the Audi just looks aggressive. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like it. You know this facelift that Audi have done where it has like the thinner headlights.
Oh yeah,
and
the
that,
thinner,
and
the thinner
big
headlights
open
really
grille.
help.
I think it looks nice. The interior
Yeah.
doesn't look
Oh,
too
look
bad
at that
either.
interior as well. I didn't think it was the
Specifically
best
found
out of
that
the
manual one as
interiors.
well.
No, yeah, I think out of all the interiors,
The BMW is probably the worst because it's the
Yeah.
same as every other BMW.
Mm.
Then I'd put the Audi and then I'd put the Porsche. I'll give you that. But outside, I'm still putting Audi first, then
what do you
Porsche.
think, Audi or Porsche on the outside?
We're just discrediting the BMW.
Well, I would
straight
like
away.
to
Oh, yeah.
hang up another picture of the Z4, Greg.
Okay,
Also,
that's
my-
it.
We're just,
I forgot about
we're
the
just
Z4.
BMW bashing.
When it came to the Z4 and looks, I was like, let's just not talk about it.
Because for me, my opinion on it as like from a looks perspective is I don't mind the look of it without the roof. Like it keeps it somewhat relatively respectable. Okay, yeah, the grill's a bit.
I don't
Do
get
you know?
odd.
What is it with BMW and this grille? It looks horrid. Okay, get over it and build a car without that rubbish grille.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. Okay, this isn't me bashing BMW because I think they look nice. I think the M4 looks nice.
Oh, yes,
I think
yeah.
all the M5, the M2. I think they all look nice.
Mm.
But this one, I really don't like the outside. Like just the splitter. Like, what it's just like a really stretched one, and the grills are so big, and then they don't even follow down. They're little like, I don't know.
It just doesn't look
Because
right.
all-
I
does it?
just personally, I really
Because
don't
to
like
me,
it.
all in all, is like I won't put it against it as like as a car to drive. It'll be good to drive, but
Yeah, I've heard they're good to drive.
It's a BMW. It's going to be
It,
all right in it.
it is for someone who's got very specific taste in what they want their car to look like.
A BMW fanboy? Do you mean?
It tastes.
Oh.
No, I think the back
I
doesn't
think
look
the
too bad.
thing that ruins it though is when that roof goes up.
Yeah, that really
Is
does.
it,
It just
is there a
turned-
hardtop version of it?
Don't think so.
Right. Okay. Yep. They just ruined their car.
Because it just looks like a tent.
Let me just picture tent in my BMW.
Like they've gone to go outdoors. Like I need a tent.
I just no.
No,
Sorry.
I think I don't think the back looks too bad, but the front,
So
just not.
I'm gonna have to
Go back
say
to the
this,
Audi front.
as much as I quite like BMWs, that one probably not the best one in my eyes. So I'm gonna have to agree with all you. Like, put that at the bottom.
Yeah. We've definitely got BMW as third here. Let's just
It's good
don't. Yeah.
good.
It's okay. It's a
Car.
good car.
But looks
compared
wise,
to the other two.
bad.
Yeah. And you said I was gonna come last in this one. I'm fighting for first here.
No, I will give it to you. The Audi looks nice, but I think overall the better car is the Porsche.
Let's
You
run
see,
through. Let's run
with
through
that-
stats
I
one more
just want
time.
to say my opinions with like the looks of the
Yeah,
Audi.
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
go on.
Porsche
Yeah, Karen.
is like with the Audi, it's what you expect from an Audi, just something aggressive. But I do have to say I don't like it's
Look at those.
It looks
wheels.
flamboyant.
Look at all the grills. Oh,
yeah.
I'll
But
get-
the thing is though is after looking at Z4, it's put me off convertibles.
I don't know. It looks.
give us a
alright, that
convertible Audi.
one. I don't think I put a picture in of it. Yes.
It's like basically my opinion is if I had to like it's very close between because they both look very nice. But if I have to, I would put the Audi just above the Porsche.
Yep. Good boy. Karen.
See,
go.
that's
The Porsche looks. Like
Is there
I said,
a reason you haven't
flamboyant.
added convertible pictures of the Audi?
I just didn't find any.
There is a
I
reason.
I didn't look
There
too
is
hard
a
for it
reason.
either.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Connor!
Hey, I had to play every dirty tactic to win the game. Okay.
Even
they
I-
kept the spoiler.
Played every dirty
How
tactic.
look how bad that looks.
So Connor hasn't showed us the convertible, and he put in an ABT Audi TTS in the pictures.
Right,
Okay.
let-
Hey,
Jared,
can we give a bit of context
no,
first for all the listeners, right? They said when we was picking cars, we picked obviously these three, and they went, "Oh yeah, we'll give Connor the Audi. He's won the past two, and you have to fight from the back with the Audi." So I was like, "Right, okay, I'm definitely gonna win this now." So I've snuck in a few cheating pictures just to try and get my score up a little bit.
Let's revisit then the unbiased Jared. Now looking at what you've now seen
Right,
for
so
the audio
as-
listeners,
as
we've just shown some convertible
all of-
pictures of
as
the Audi
all of
TTS.
them as all of them as a convertible,
Now we're on an even playing field.
where it's now fully even.
He doesn't. The yellow does
It's-
it no justice either.
It's Audi have really knocked the TTS down with it being a convertible.
It's a shambles, that's what it is.
It's
But
rubbish.
at the same time though, it doesn't make much redemption for the Z4
No.
because that
I don't know. I think I'll put that as a convertible Audi. I'll put it below the Z4. I prefer the Z4 look to the
As
Audi.
when it's convertible, the hardtop is nice.
yeah.
The convertible, on the other hand,
Is there a hardtop Porsche you haven't shown us, or did they not make one?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look far enough. But
But knowing Porsche,
You know what
it's
that
probably
means.
got a metal foldable roof though.
oh yeah,
Come on, let's go find a. Oh, sorry, just knocked my mic there. Go find a hardtop Porsche, because I'm hoping this will come back for me.
why do you think it won't look good?
I'm hoping it won't look good. It probably will look good.
Oh my god, it looks amazing.
The fact that you didn't find a picture of that is,
Because I thought I'd help you out.
I mean that blows the Audi out the water there.
Yeah.
I'm
That
gonna have
is
to admit. I'm gonna have to admit defeat on that one.
That is a very nice car.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, BMW, but you've ruined it.
That's the thing, mate. Oh look, there's the yellow hardtop. So what we've done here is we've revealed the Audi TTS convertible. We've had a look for the 718 hardtop, and we have come to the conclusion that
The BMW is an absolutely horrible car.
Yes,
we have come to that.
that is one conclusion we've drawn.
In
from here.
second place, close. I think it's close.
It's a very
very
close. Yeah, I will give it to the Porsche. Okay, just because I've seen the hardtop now after the after seeing the soft top. If you can find that red, if you put that red one in,
that's
Jack,
nice
the red
and grey.
picture,
Yes.
show that one. It looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful.
Do you know what though? If I'm perfectly honest, I know they're like on the same level as in like where they are in the market and everything, but I feel like, I mean, you guys have fought really well for them, but I feel like the Porsche, it shouldn't be in this little league.
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
It's 20 grand
and
more than the BMW and the Audi.
I just don't think it. I don't know. But there
Right.
we go.
Out of these three, which one are you having, Jack?
What if I had to buy one tomorrow?
If you had to buy one tomorrow, the BMW, the Audi, and the Porsche, which one are you buying?
It's close, but I'm gonna go with the Porsche.
Yeah, Jared, which one are you buying?
Same again, I'll probably go with the Porsche.
Yeah. As much as I've fought for the Audi and I've backed it all the way here, I am going to have to jump ship after looking at that hardtop Porsche. It is just such a beautiful car.
The Audi is a fun car though. It's a small hard top. It looks good,
See,
but
the only thing that annoys me with the Audi is all German cars are limited to 155.
yeah.
I'd like to know what it could do if it weren't limited, but nah. But the Audi hardtop definitely looks good, but the Porsche just beats it out there.
Yeah.
So I think conclusive winner here, definitely the Porsche.
Yeah.
Like I say though, should it have been in this category?
I don't know.
Oh
Probably
well,
not,
it was
but-
in here anyway.
Oh
so.
well.
Well, tune in next week and we'll get something that's really close. We'll work hard to get a good fight next week.
We're gonna have to go for something very similar.
We are.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do? Toyota 86 GT86 versus Subaru BRZ versus
Ski on FRS.
Yeah. That'll be close enough, won't it?
I think that'll be a good one. So tune in next week for that then. That's definitely confirmed.
Yeah. We're all fighting for the same car under a different badge.
But there we go. Car debate, new cars, car news.
I think that's a good place to wrap things up.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen us before, check us out on YouTube. YouTube.com/Carweekpodcast. If you're listening on audio, you can look at the video there, see what we look like, see what's going on.
Yeah.
And podcast is available on any
iTunes, Spotify, Anchor. Go and check our other 2 episodes.
basically
out.
anywhere you can get a podcast. We got both our previous 2 episodes up there. And if you want to message us, we've got Twitter and we've got Instagram.
Yep.
Both just Instagram or Twitter.com/Carweekpodcast.
Yep. At Carweek
At
Podcast.
Carweekpodcast on both. So if you want to come find us, give it any DMs, you want to know what's going on.
Give us next week's car debate.
Yeah, if you want to give us
that'd
next
be a
week's
good
car
one.
debate, find us on there.
Be my guest.
Yeah, we'll be quite happy. Any suggestions for anything you want to see on here? Any news you want us to talk about? Any new cars you want us to talk about that you want? Or any existing cars, really?
Yeah.
Anything you want us to sort of discuss and give us our opinions on,
Because we don't have.
just let us know.
We're not like sort of about to only going for newer cars. Like we can happily do older cars as well.
I think
I
we
would
should
love
do that next season. I think we should do it
next
next
week.
episode.
Yeah.
We'll just do segment on existing cars, I think. Yeah.
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 Yep, definitely.
Well,
Alright.
thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are listening, give it a watch so you can follow along with us.
And if you're on YouTube, please give us a comment, like the video, and subscribe. If you're listening on audio, please rate the podcast. It really helps. Follow us or subscribe on iTunes or whatever platform you're on, whatever you do to follow us to make sure you don't miss the next one. Like I say, follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter. That's Car Week Podcast. I've been Connor.
I'm Jared.
I'm Jack.
Thank you for watching.
See you
and
next
listening.
week.
See ya.
See ya.